Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Do you hear me? Hello, you all. Come on, Andrew, cool. Twitter, math, chat. Hello, you all. And welcome. Welcome to the results stream of, well, of the third turn of the Skunkworks League, Season 2. Yay. Let me change the ticker below, and it goes here. Yes, okay. Hello, you all. How is it going? I hope it's a good Sunday for you all. And I guess we can already start. I will have to do the last thing before opening everything. That is removing some of my solves from SudokuPad and Pempa, so you don't see the solved versions of stuff. I will need just 1 minute to do so, but we are going to see the medals for this round, but not for round 2. For round 2, I still have to complete the solving. Sadly, it's on my fault. It's just my fault. But as I said on Discord, I had some pretty rough weeks, and I tried to focus on this round to make sure that at least this round was complete, and we had the right medals. But yeah, so okay, restart. Yes, then this one must be restarted as well. Okay. 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 I just need 1 minute to reset all the puzzles while people enter. Okay. Nice. Start over. Oh yeah. And this one. Yay. Okay. Perfect. Another game, my 92 90-second favorite puzzle streamer. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's just I mean, even this is a result, so I'm happy with that. Okay. We have everything, so Dama, hello. And I guess I can share with you this window, right? Yeah. Okay. Do you see everything? I guess so. So, perfect. Hello, you all, and welcome. This is season 2, turn 3 results stream, and after the end of the results, I will share with you prompt 4 for the pleasure of, I mean, probably everyone apart from Playmaker, maybe, but. Well, two or three things before starting, as always. What is this? Well, this turn, this prompt 3. The idea behind prompt 3 was to make an instructionless or mystery puzzle, okay? And the idea was that in the league, I tried always to like force people to set in conditions that are not ideal or just like conditions that people are used to set for. So the majority of people that joined the league have never set an instructionless, and I think some of them had never solved one or similar stuff. LMD has some mystery puzzles, some instructionless, some meta puzzles, but in general they are not like easy to make because you have to create them in a way that the solver is guided into understanding what's going on, and that's a real problem because without the instructions, people can guess. Other ideas can infer other rules that are not there, and so on and so on and so on. So when you set stuff like that, you are forced to put your mind in the mind of a solver that doesn't know what's going on and see what the solver could understand, seeing what this is, and from there trying to understand what's going on and how to advance. Okay, and it's a skill that I guess was not taken in consideration in prompt 1. In season 1. Okay, maybe in some of the puzzles of Tomb for the last season, we had some mysteries, some puzzle answers, some stuff like that, but it was not like a forced thing to do. So yeah, I wanted to force this thing now in season 2 with Turn 3, and I must say sorry first to all the setters and secondly to the judges because probably I would have to force some other constraints around it to allow setters to be a bit more guided around what they had to do, and to allow judges to not go just insane for some of the things that were submitted. In retrospective, I think a good idea would have been, like I did for the permaculture in Turn 3, like to create some borders along the mystery instructionless parts. So to avoid some type of stuff or to force setters to do something in some specific ways. But on the other way, if you look from another point of view, this prompt allowed for very, 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 very open-ended ideas and solutions, and this allowed for an incredible amount of different stuff that you had to do. Like you are digging into a Dropbox, then you are looking at horror B movies, and then you are solving stuff with palindrome snakes, and then you are solving 30 puzzles to arrive to a main one, and similar stuff and similar stuff and similar stuff. So the vastity of different types of puzzles, it was just insane. So yeah, but these mystery puzzles are my nightmare. Not fun joining straight to this message. This is one of the most brutal turns so far. Yeah, and this reflected on the time that I gave to the judges, because judges had a lot more time than all the other rounds. You had more time to set, and that was my idea, but still, I don't think I managed to like to set this prompt properly in the best way possible, and I'm sorry for that. But still, I mean, there are two things that I want to say before starting. The first thing is that I will be blatantly honest about what I think about the puzzles. Why I'm saying that? Because as I said many times, I think these moments are moments in which judges and in general what I say and so on can be interesting for setters to understand if something just went wrong, considering that they didn't have the possibility to have feedback from testers or other stuff. So it's important that like we try to understand if something went wrong, especially in the instructionless part. So in the part in which you have to understand the rules, because some of these puzzles, and there are examples of these, were just made in a way that you have very, very, very much a hard time in finding out the rules. And I think that the setters like underestimate the difficulty of their rule sets to be understood in some of those puzzles. So I'll try to be honest on what I think, of course, but also I'll try to share what judges say to me in these 40 days or similar, and what judges wrote in the notes that I have at disposal for you. So this is the first thing that I wanted to say. The second is that I think 4 stars was a good amount of cookies for this prompt, just because it allowed the instructionless to work in a way that was not too trivial. Because just the fact that it's instructionless would like raise the amount of difficulty of the puzzle. So if I like asked for a two cookies, 1 cookie, 3 cookies, it would have been more difficult to stand out, I think, and to not use stuff that was like too standard. Like, okay, I will share, for example, I don't know, standard constraints and so on and so on and so on, because I have to reduce my difficulty. So 4 stars was a good amount of cookies in this case, 4 cookies. But it's interesting that literally the average cookies that was used in this round was exactly 4. Like it was 4.04. So like you just stayed on the 4 cookies. The biggest amount of puzzles were just there, and that's relevant, I think. So yeah. Anyway, paradox of knowledge is real. It's just so difficult to remember what it's like. It's to not know something was, yeah. So many puzzles used 2 or 3 cookies. Yeah, there were some 3 cookies and there were some 5 cookies, but for judges, not too much 5 cookies puzzles. So that's really interesting, but we will see. In any case, well, let's start from puzzle number 6, I guess. I will have to do one thing, that is change the position of these in my screen, so I can be careful to not share the wrong things with all of you. I guess this is important, I guess. Okay, that should do the trick. Any other judge wanting to voice? What? Okay, I have this there and this here. Okay, nice. I have it. Okay, number 6. starting with a puzzle that went so well, honestly, in terms of results. Number 6 was this one. I solved this one just 2 days ago. Also, this is one of the strangest looking ones, and this round is so wild that even if this puzzle looks like that, it's not like the wildest looking puzzle of the round. The idea behind it is like beautiful, honestly, literally beautiful. I just want to say that this was perfectly done. It's just astonishing what happens in this puzzle, how the rules are like hidden and discovered. It's beautiful. It's honestly beautiful. It's so good at hinting its rules, and so good also in the solving itself. Yeah, creativity is just I don't know how to tell that, but it's totally at another place. Honestly, it's beautiful in that sense. It was a very nice, and I mean very very nice experience solving it, and yeah, even 3 cookies honestly is a bit too much in my opinion, but I can understand why. Still, the puzzle was made by Melly Robinson, I didn't say that, and well, it just went to a straightforward 8.9 puzzle score with a very high score in pretty much each category, as you can see, and very high enjoyment as well. So yeah, it's just insanely good, honestly. Very well done. And I have to say that I will start already with the medal, because this one will get the Pure Elegance puzzle. The Pure Elegance medal, sorry. This puzzle is just awesome in that terms. So very well done, Melo Robinson. It's probably your first medal from me. So yeah, starting super strong. Yeah, that's incredible. But yeah, wow, what a puzzle, honestly. Literally what a puzzle. And yeah, I'll try to not spoil too much of the instructionless in general when I can, but I can say that here, like, you can absolutely understand what's going on here if you look around and notice, well, the fact that this puzzle is made on Sudokupad. It's like the only thing that I will say. Yeah. Hello, Isaiah. So, very well done. And now looking at puzzle number 7. Yeah, puzzle number 7. Okay, puzzle number 7 is our first 5-star, and I think no one can say that it's not a 5 stars. Let's tell this. I'll share with you the puzzle. The puzzle is a 24 pages PDF that contains all this text, and well, after a certain point, you get these 2 tables, okay? But this one is one of those that you can think at like it was a puzzle hunt, okay? You will understand something hidden in the message, hidden in the numbers, and so on and so on and so on, okay? The hints document or / walkthrough of the puzzle is very, very long. Very long. And a thing that I can tell you is that for what I know, every one of the judges had to revolve to the hints document to advance in at least some of the parts of this. 2 of the judges still thought that it was an interesting thing, the fact that you have like to join together to solve, just because maybe you have some informations like general knowledge that others don't have, and so it's one of those puzzles in which like a collective solve will do like a lot more than individual solves. This puzzle is very hard. It's very hard, and it involves a lot of ciphering and deciphering in many ways. I would have never solved this one without the hints, because some pieces are literally more obscure than others. The fact is this: the way it's constructed, though, makes the hunting very fun. Like I was very invested and very excited in solving this one, even if I had my hints document that guided me. Not exactly like reading a walkthrough, okay, but I needed the hints to advance in multiple times. I mean, but but it was fun nonetheless. It was fun, and that's a thing that other puzzles in this round can't tell in that regard. Like yeah, but Cypher Hunt was fun. That's at least a thing that I can tell. About what some of the of the judges said. One of the judges said that he's very conflicted with this puzzle because some aspects of it like felt like some sort of FPO judges, time waster. I enjoyed learning about some of the ciphers, but it became tiring, and at a certain point, irritation came. For the instructionless puzzle, the choice of clue visual doesn't really relate to what the clue does. And there were ways, looking at what this judge said, to communicate better in an instructionless, because some of the things were very hidden inside it. So that's pretty much what happens. I do think the execution of was overall a bit sloppy, particularly part C2 and E2, with some mistakes that cost solvers a lot of time, like League being the key instead of Skunkworks, or referring to a previous part that is instead a next part, and so on and so on and so on. But the effort is insane, and the puzzle, yeah, as I say, it was fun in certain bits and absolutely creative. I mean, no one can tell that this puzzle is not creative, I think. And well, yeah, puzzle was made by Akash, and got 5 cookies for a 6.7 puzzle score. But yeah, personally, yeah. The audacity of this entry. This entry was very brave, honestly. I don't think no. I think no one can say the opposite, honestly. This was a wild entry. Surely a wild entry. And the Cash and Mellow are done. Sorry, I have to put my coloring here to be sure that I'm not missing anything. I also saw this as a risk, say the Cash. Yeah. In general, if some of the parts were a little bit more like self-explanatory, and you didn't have that type of mistakes that judges are talking about, I guess the experience would have been a lot smoother. But still, it's an awesome concept, an awesome puzzle. But yeah. And and one of the judges asked, the last K corresponds to different objects. So is that non-unique? Because yeah, but so at least one cookie is required, right? What? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. I still don't understand what do you mean. The cookies are the difficulty of the puzzle as judged by judges. And I gave for this round 4 cookies. So while they stay to 1, 2, 3, or 4 cookies puzzles, they don't use cookies. If they use 5 cookies, they are using 1 cookie from their personal reserve. That's how it works. Okay. Next one. Kalump. That set this beautiful arrow puzzle. The concept was very interesting, honestly, and you have just this as the example, and I found very peculiar and interesting the fact that you can understand the rules just by inferring from this being unique. You have to make some assumptions here to force a rule set that makes it unique. But when you put together some rules that make this example unique with the solution that you have to the right, then you have just the right rule set. And the sensation of finding this rule set was very cool. The puzzle itself was interesting, not very easy, honestly. Particularly hard to get started, but a lot of fun in general. I want to say that probably two examples would have been better to allow people to understand more easily the rules. But just because you have to make some assumptions, like, okay, but this means that I have to not put another arrow behind another one, so on, and similar. But you can assume all that stuff and not have problems. Like a particular thing is that avoiding uniqueness problems, you can already infer a lot of rules from the example, and the whole puzzle is so amazing, honestly. Very very cool stuff. Column made a very nice puzzle here. Yeah, Nib, I'm sorry, but there is some stuff to say about this puzzle. I'm very sorry about that. I understand your point. I'll try to be faster. Sorry. Anyway, another 8.9. Higher adherence, higher creativity, and higher smoothness so far. Highest smoothness so far. So, still, yeah, very well done. Greetings, TBW. I like this simple and sweet type of genre. Yeah, this puzzle just went with a very high puzzle score, honestly. 29s already, yeah, exactly. And then number 9 was not made by Round Planner. And we go straight to puzzle number 10. That was like the first, okay, the second, because I mean, probably the Akash puzzle, you can think of it like an insanity. But yeah, this one is probably one of the biggest insanities. You have these, but those are, okay, I can tell that those are just like the examples. of the entry, and you have to find out the real puzzle. And the real puzzle is the real deal. Is literally the real deal. Okay. What can I say? What can I say? Oh, I say, yeah. I hope that you'll try to solve the puzzles for the next round. What went wrong was there was a mistake in the final puzzle, so the first part was a last-minute job. Well, okay. Let me try to tell you what judges said about puzzle number 10, okay? Before even sharing the results. If I could take 7 cookies, I would. Not because it was 7-star difficulty, but because it was a massive 5-star puzzle following a many-step tutorial process with a few difficult puzzles. That said, the instructionless layout was well done, and the constraints were creatively combined to form a quite impressive puzzle. Enjoyable, but really draining. Like, yeah, this puzzle took at least me and one of the judges hours. I mean the entirety of it. But with hours, I don't mean like 2 hours. I mean hours. I really mean hours. The puzzle was pretty wide, honestly. Very low standard deviation on this one. The lowest so far, like 0.2. And you got 5 cookies and an 8.6 with the highest brilliance so far. But as you can see, you had reduced the enjoyment and yeah, but creativity and brilliance, outstanding, honestly. Really, really outstanding. 350 hours. Yeah, probably 50 hours without the 3, but yeah. That's probably a bit more true, but yeah. The scores are much higher than expected so far for me, not gonna lie. Yeah, yeah. Also, I should tell that judges reduced the adherence for 2 things. One, for how much of the puzzle you could understand without reading the hints. As you can see, the reduced in the cache 1 in number 7, it was pretty much because you had to read the hints. Okay. The other one, big reduction, was made for broken or non-unique parts, and judges had an approach here that was like, if the error was in the examples, or if the error was in the main puzzle, and at the same time, if the error caused problems in understanding the rules or not, because there are examples in which the example was non-unique, but it was not a problem in understanding the rules. And in other examples, instead, the problem in the example was a problem to understanding the rules. So they took those kind of stuff into account. I would have personally went a lot lower in the adherence of some of the puzzles. I will tell that very clearly. But that was the approach. Okay, so I just wanted to say that. I made so many mistakes in number 10. The author had to handle me through a lot of stuff. Same old story as season 1 to 4. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I'd like a puzzle featuring everything into 10 of the. What? Puzzle number 11. Oh, yeah. But guy, hello. We have to talk. No, I mean, I'm kidding. You made like probably the most original one of the mystery puzzles we had. The concepts, the lore, everything was very well constructed, honestly. Very, very interesting. Well, I will not even open the page, the YouTube page, but you have to do a lot of stuff. It's lovely, and at a certain point, you must understand what's going on when you publish a puzzle on LMD. So, like, you can imagine that if someone never set a puzzle on LMD, they could have problem understanding some bits of it, but the entirety of it, the amount of Easter eggs that is there, it's very, very, very interesting, honestly. And you had one of my medals, the I'm impressed medal, for a long time, until at a certain point I had to give that to another mystery. But judges were happy about your puzzle, very happy about your puzzle. Good theming, engaging hunt. Like literally the puzzle hunt was very, very cool, honestly. Very enjoyable, not too short. The puzzles were fair and not too difficult. I'm reading one of the comments from a judge. Though I did get stuck on finding what image could possibly have a 6-digit code. I never published it on LMD, yeah. And I already found the myth and the final puzzle before looking at the poem, so it took me a while to find the sum of our answer. Specific knowledge of Sudoku Pad, Sudoku Maker LMD is probably the most unfair part of this puzzle, because you know it or you don't know it. And there could have been a clue in the final puzzle about case sensitivity, but I don't have any other notes. Really well done. Puzzle received 8.2, so also very high creativity, very high brilliance, and I want to say also very high enjoyment in general. You made a really solid entry for this. Yeah, I'm sorry, Matt Guy. I'm really sorry, Matt Guy. I'm prepared for a low score, and you didn't have a low score. Yeah, or not soon. Yeah, you could add a wall or moving that link. I will still believe it's the same match. Yeah. We had than expected. Yeah, nice. Very, very, very cool. But in general, yeah, the puzzle hunt was, yeah, probably my favorite puzzle hunt of this round in that term. And going down to puzzle number 12. Number 12 was the Bookville puzzle. Or the Bookville puzzles, if I may. Yeah, so I should probably just enter this. And TW's idea was extremely cool. Yes, Niv just said everything. The idea behind Bookville's puzzle is just awesome, honestly. You have to construct everything in a very, 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 very well way to make this puzzle work, because okay, I don't want to spoil too much about this, but the point is that at a certain point you will have to consider / reconsider everything that you understood, and it's important to notice that like a minor problem in one of the steps before could cause major problems going on. And why I'm saying that? Because this puzzle had a problem. As you can see, the original version was a little bit different, and the puzzle was fixed. I'm saying that because well, I'll just read what some of the judges said. I think it will be easier for everyone to understand, or at least for Bookworm to understand. Very creative rules and fairly enjoyable solving experience. Demonstrated understanding of solver mentality. And I must agree with that, because this one is one of those puzzles in which you don't have to use the hints like at all. You can understand what's going on perfectly. Shame that the mistake fix not changing the big puzzle makes the overall design fit a bit less impressive. And another one said, the error in the bottom right puzzle broke the alternating color rule, and trying to figure out how the rule worked at that point left me unable to go forward without reading the intended rules. Also, there was not enough information provided to make the odd number of lines between our rule clear. But with the rules in hand, the final puzzle was a lot of fun, and recontextualizing the grids from the earlier part of the puzzle is always a fun trick. That said, I think that this puzzle would have received a higher score if there wasn't the problem, but not only for the adherence part, but also in the enjoyment overall. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, low standard deviation, 5 stars as usual, and 8.3 for the puzzle, with like less smoothness and less brilliance than you could expect, but high in all the others. I still think that, at least from what Judge said, that the enjoyment would have been a little bit higher without the problem, but yeah. And in this case, the puzzle is very interesting. As I said, the logic behind was very cool. The idea was very cool, and I have to go to the right because yeah, this puzzle got. I wish I would have set it. It was a very nice concept, honestly, and I don't know why it's not being greenified, but yeah, it should anyway. Very well done, Bookworm. Yeah. Yeah, the concept is cool. The idea behind it is very, very interesting, honestly. And then we go straight to Nils puzzle. That is number 13. And Nils puzzle has well, a piece of mystery that is this star chart at the start, and a piece of instructionless. And I just want to tell that the instructionless part is perfect in terms of understanding the rules here. It's well hinted, well constructed. From here, you understand everything. I'm not the biggest fan of some of the choices, but those choices are well depicted. And you have nothing to complain about them. And the mystery about these is interesting. And still, as Niv said in the chat, revolves also the knowledge of something about LMD. Fun story. The biggest problem here is that if you look at this puzzle and at the final fixed version, you can notice that the fixed version has a clue that was not here. And yeah, that clue that I guess it's a 6 year, I don't remember, but yeah. Anyway, point is the main puzzle was non-unique without it, and it got problems in the adherence score as expected. That's pretty much it. But apart from that, the puzzle is very adherent to the prompt. The final puzzle, I think that the single puzzles are on their own interesting, but they lack something because it's when they are put together then they work well, interacting in a good way. Every one of those puzzles took me long time to solve. It was not like okay, having just very easy examples. But this one is yeah, it's very well constructed. let me just share what judges thought about it. The puzzles were all fun, though the extra step of having to look in 3 different places and transcribe givens is a bit tedious. They felt more like a pack rather than building up rules for one puzzle. Just because all rules were clear from the example, and that's the main point. Like, it was like 4 puzzles and not 3 example and 1 puzzle. That's a thing that I agree with the judge. The non-unique fix was naturally used early in the solve. But yeah, the puzzle, probably because of the fix, but went straight to 3 cookies. And even if it's long, but it was placed as 3 cookies, and you got a 7.4 with 11 in adherence, and those 11 in adherence are pretty much the point. Very high enjoyment, 8.33, 20 in creativity, and yeah, highest smoothness with Calms 1, and yeah. Let me see. I expect a big satanic version of it at any point. Okay, I did not expect this. Mine is big enough already. Yeah, I agree. It's such a stupid oversight of me. Half an hour is enough. I don't know how to feel from this revelation. The examples didn't really feel necessary. It's basically a puzzle pack, not examples, but they were fun. 11. They were all the puzzles, though. Let's check it out. Yeah. And, well, straight to puzzle number 14. That... Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, I ate this puzzle. Okay? I literally ate this puzzle. And, okay, this is the puzzle. And I ate the concept about this puzzle, but I ate specifically the way it was sent to the judges with this example. I will share. There is a story about this, but I must be clear. No judge solved this puzzle until I reached the setter and I asked for the rules. We had no idea. I gave, yeah. Why not? Point is this. I don't think there is a way to understand the rules of this without just reading the rules of this. The example doesn't help. We got like 8 or 9 hints, and no one of them helped enough to understanding what's going on here. But even with the rules, the puzzle is very distant from what I like, personally. But I understand that knowing the rules, you can solve it, okay? That's fine. But it's one of those cases in which the adherence got just nuked, not because you had a problem, a non-uniqueness part, a broken part in the main puzzle, but just because of the fact that the instructionless here doesn't work. You just can't understand the rules from this. And I would argue, even without reading the hints, it's very hard to understanding what's going on here. Even knowing the rules, I would struggle to understand the rules. Okay, yeah, you know the rules now, right? Yeah, exactly. I will be clear about that. But the point is that those lines put together the coefficients of equations of polynomials that are 1 degree lower than the length of the line, and that polynomial, like that equation must have the number of the box, the number of the region as a root, as a solution, and that's yeah. 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 Like you get this box 3 here, and the idea behind it is that like x squared minus 4x plus 3 has 3 as a solution, for example. The interesting part is that each one of those lines must have at least a negative value and at least a positive value. But you don't know which one is which. And yeah, that's pretty much the real set. And yeah, my problem is exactly that. I don't think you can work out that, okay? And I know that the ins sometimes talk about degrees, sometimes talks about values, and at a certain point you talk about stuff like that. But you are just not thinking at that, and the way that the number of the box must be a root for the polynomial, for example. It's just insane. And no, you have to understand the orientation. And yeah. And also, I mean, okay, here you have 3 linear equations, 6, 2, 1, 4, and 6, 3, that I mean, are easily to work with, okay? But here you must revolve around the fact that here you have 7, you have 5, you have 9, you have some of them that are harder than others to work with. But each one of the coefficients could be an integer between 1 and 9, and yeah, it's yeah. It's wild, honestly. In any case, this puzzle had, I think, the highest standard deviation of the round. Like, yeah, the standard deviation of this puzzle is 2. It's literally 2. That is, yeah, a bit. I don't think it succeeded it as an instructionless, said one of the judges. With the rules, the puzzle was nice and fun. Books 9 through 4 were smooth, but the top was a bit Sudoku sticky. I just didn't find staring at the example to be enjoyable or rewarding, and even with the cryptic hints, it is tough rules to glean. Point was, as I said, that's the point. The puzzle is not impossible when you know what to do. That's the point. But I asked for instructionless or mystery, and this completely fails in that regard. That's why I say that I hate that type of stuff here. At the same time, I would have given a lot lower adherence than what the puzzle received. I personally think that this puzzle has, in terms of adherence, is like 4 or 5 points, not more. Yeah, it received 12. The puzzle is still unique. I mean, but yeah, the puzzle received still high creativity, but lower smoothness and lower enjoyment for the reasons that we talked about. I think it's pretty much it. Yeah, good so far until these entries show up. This time not last. Yeah. Hey, PMPS. So how are you? It is a score. Yeah. Number 15. 15 was not made by, I don't remember. Oh, Donatello, by Donatello. And 16 was not made by Matt. 17 was not made by Awesome Sauce. 18 was not made by SS Granor. And 19 was not made by Chef of That. 20 was not made by Sniglet. And we go straight to Jay's puzzle. Okay, Jay's puzzle is this. And yeah, I would love to. I don't know if I can restart completely this. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't show the very first opening page, but yeah. The interesting part of this is that you have to understand what's going on, and the puzzle becomes greater and greater, larger and larger, and you understand more about the rules. It's a very cool way to set an instruction list, personally, because you have to understand that you have a lot of ways to try stuff like, okay, this 4 works, okay, nice, interesting, and this doesn't, okay, why this doesn't, okay, but what happens here if I do that, okay, this doesn't work and those work, and so on and so on and so on, and you can try and understand what's going on. It's a cool idea. Yeah. I guess some people were too scared of the prompt. Yeah, love this one. Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm not sharing the start of it, because in the start there are some Easter eggs that are very fun, but I think I have problems in terms of caching of cache. I could just eliminate the cache of this and share, but yeah, you can always look at the puzzle and have fun with it. In any case, the puzzle was very interesting, honestly. Very well done. I had a lot of troubles understanding the rule of this, and when I finally discovered what was going on with this, I was like, oh, okay. How I didn't understand that? Probably it's because it's a little bit different variant of what you are like expected to notice when you have that kind of constraint. But yeah, apart from that, very cool experience. I mean, I really enjoyed, really enjoyed it. And judges enjoyed that as well a lot. Impressive UI and good use of instruction. Less expanding puzzle was cute and made it digestible. The fact that the same grid works for all 4 stages is a small masterclass in brilliance and shows great setting ability. Yeah. I actually struggled most with the UI and spent quite a while on stage 0 just trying to figure out a pattern in moving elements. Yeah, but very nice puzzle. And yeah, Jay got an 8.9. Insane. About what Neve said, the point about the executable files is to avoid possible dangerous files going into the computers of the judges. If it's on the web, it's not a real problem in the terms. Yeah, exactly. Incognito should work. Oh yeah, probably incognito works. Yeah. This felt as if Pempite Fog. Yeah. This actually has very big potential. And the rules are interesting anyway. I could enjoy a puzzle like that, honestly. But yeah. A bigger puzzle like that. But anyway, puzzle number 22. Oh, sorry. I'm stupid because I have to go to the right, of course, here. Sure. I mean, this one received the water break-in just because I think all the stages are the break-in for this one until you understand the rules. That is like around stage 3. and the entirety of how this break-in is constructed, well, is a thing that could receive a medal, in my opinion. Very, very, very well done. So yeah, Kale didn't submit for this round, and going straight to number 23. I expect like a 5-way timer. Okay, number 23. Oh, Nelf puzzle. Yeah. Ness puzzle. Ness puzzle was a beauty. Honestly, Ness puzzle was a beauty. I don't think there are other ways to say so. Ness puzzle was a beauty. All rules here. I mean, you have to dig into the other puzzles to understand what's going on, and the other puzzles have other puzzles on their own. Sorry, they have other puzzles on their own, and at a certain point you understand. Oh, sorry. You understand the logic inside them, and you like go backwards and find out what's going on. But the point is that all those puzzles that you have, like not counting the big one, are very, 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 very small and very, very, very easy, and allow you to understand everything about this one without saying anything at all. Probably D is less powerful than the others, but it becomes very relevant when you do the chaos construction part. And the chaos construction here in the big grid was very well done. Yeah, the best part is the start anyway. This one would have had the water break-in if Jay's puzzle didn't exist. Very, very, very well done puzzle. This one. About the judges, there are surely, yeah. I liked that they were all invented constraints instead of reskinned standard constraints, and all were clearly illustrated. Long lines with weird slopes were a bit clunky, irritating, but I enjoyed everything. Except the final region disambiguation. I personally enjoyed that, but yeah, okay. All three clue types were quite fresh and cool, but I think there is a big gap between how trivial the examples were and how hard the final puzzle was. I tend to be convinced that it's a good thing that the examples are very easy in this case, but yeah. Final puzzle was very nice. And this one received a very high score as well. 8.7 with, again, high enjoyment, high creativity, a lot less brilliance than the others, but still very high scores in general. And 19.4 adherent. I mean, this one was one of the highest adherent puzzles of the round, I think. So, yeah, what can you say? It was very, very interesting. How no Kale again, yeah. This one was nil. The juggler style puzzle, it reminded me of the Worms puzzle by Marty Sears. Can't wait for Agent to end this with a 9 point something. Something has 9 letters, so expect a 9.9. Reckon there will be at least one puzzle over 9. Might be Agents, it's very good as usual. The challenge of reading the long lines was my least favorite part, but that was for mine. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue with 24. Oh, 24 was the puzzle that I rushed today to solve. And I must tell, it was the last puzzle I had to look at. And luckily, we had a complete solve guide. So I had to revolve on it, but just because it was like me some hours ago rushing through it to reach this stream. The puzzle was very, very well done. But I didn't understand anything. Yeah. I'll read you one of the comments. I needed the hint on full rank, though I think in retrospect I could have gotten there if I banged my head against it some more. Excellent build-up of rules throughout, though the symbols made the rest of them pretty obvious. The last puzzle was crunchy and rewarding, said another judge. Overall, well-communicated rules and a fun, smooth puzzle. Neat ending. The soul path was pretty smooth, just very brutal. The puzzles and especially full rank deductions kind of overstayed the welcome for me. There were a lot of them, and it got very tiring to work through. But there were some really clever nuggets of cool deductions. This one had a bit high standard deviation. This one received a very high score, over 9, I mean, and some scores that were lower. It was Field the Arts puzzle and received an astonishing 8.5. Again, pretty high adherence and creativity, and yeah. As you can see, in general, apart from those, from some of them, those 5, I mean, we had some lower creativity scores here, but yeah, in general. This was another one that felt like more a puzzle pack than a puzzle. Yeah, I must agree about that. I haven't done many entries past from this point. Hello. Ciao, Vale. Elephant now, please address me. Yeah, Bears. Anyway, let's continue. Puzzle number 25. Oh, yeah. There is a story about this one, and I guess Ikemanga will not have anything in contrary if I tell you something about this, okay? Point is that at a certain point, Ike sent me a message saying that I had to tell the judges to completely avoid one particular step of its puzzle, because the clues were very hard. And he just sent the grid that part of the puzzle solved, saying just use that just solved and do whatever you want to the rest. That's just because the puzzle is insanely hard, and I had to give up and look at the walkthrough that Ikemanga sent, literally, in each part of it, at least from a certain point. Point is this. I will read just one of the comments. Puzzles like these work best with a fair amount of redundancy for times when the solver isn't exactly on your same wavelength. That is the point, that when you do know what Ikemanga had in mind, you just can't like advance without reading the walkthrough. It's like in the old graphic adventures games on PC, right? Like you have to read the guide because you don't know that you could combine those two objects together to do that kind of stuff. Like it was like on me, it was like the similar sensation. It's all for impressively detailed puzzle, but I would consider the majority of the intended steps to be unreasonable. Point is this. How can I just explain? You look at this kind of stuff, for example. I mean, yeah. Okay, I just want to share a thing. You have this, and then you get like a link, and then another link, and then another link, and then another link, and then another link, and those connect to other links as well, and you continue doing that kind of stuff, and so on and so on and so on, and you reach a total of, if I remember correctly, you have plaques, board, the letter, the paper, the plaques have another one of those, and then you have the hints, and then it's a lot of work, but each one of the steps is less reasonable than you would want it to be. that's pretty much the problem that the judges had with it. And it caused a very high creativity score and a very, very low enjoyment score. That's pretty much it. But yeah. It's not agent puzzle, I'm sorry. Very pleased with the score. Lots of people around 8.6 selected around. Still, and that's a thing that I have to disagree with, and I will be clear about that because, again, I'm trying to be completely honest. I must disagree with the adherence score of this one. The point is that for the judges, this puzzle has nothing broken. So, like, it has the same reduction of, okay, I need the hints, but not the same reductions of, okay, it's completely unreasonable without the hints. And for some of the judges, it received very high adherence scores that led this one to a 7.2 with 17 in adherence. And as I said, I don't agree, just because this one, I think, doesn't work well as a mystery, just because of how hard and unreasonable some of the parts are. But it's still very creative and very interesting. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, 26. And 26 is yeah. 26 is the Dropbox link. Next Master made this insanity. So yeah, this insanity. In which there is also me. But yeah. Anyway, you have to look at all of those things and find out another mystery here, understanding what's going on, what happens, what doesn't happen, and so on and so on and so on. And this one is likely Math Guy's puzzle, something that works very well in terms of telegraphing. And yeah. To the handsome man, right? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Puzzle is very interesting anyway, and scary looking, but also well telegraphed. A lot very, very well telegraphed. One of the judges said that the fill-in was pretty weak as a hint, and he would have personally preferred the cipher giving a message instead of random URL, but overall had a lot of fun with it. So, yeah, that's the point, I guess. Anyway, this puzzle received one of the highest enjoyment scores, probably the highest, and with 4 cookies, received a 9.2, full score on creativity, full score on enjoyment, and almost full score on brilliance. 20 in smoothness, almost the highest, and yeah, it's... what can I say? It's like that, and it's even an I'm impressed medal honor because of what the hell Next Master did this time. Very well done. Very, very well done. So, yeah. And also, just to be clear, the standard deviation of this one is 0.1. It's the lowest standard deviation of the entire round. All the judges who solved it just put almost the highest scores on it. Very good. I mean, if anything, judges seem to be very strict on smoothness compared to the rest of the categories. Yeah, that's true. That's very true at the moment. And 27. 27 was the easiest puzzle of the round. Andrew Sarchus made that probably after the insanity that happened in the previous round, but now this time was a very approachable puzzle. The only problem that I have with this puzzle is that the example doesn't work very well. What I mean with that is that in the example, you can think that you should reach every one of the yellow regions, because you have this white region above that is not taken, but all the yellow regions are touched by this loop, okay? And so you think you have to reach all of them. And this is a problem for the main puzzle. Another thing that doesn't work in the example is that you are never shown what happens when one of the white strings has a middle cell, because every time you have a middle cell here is not reached. So you think you will never reach the middle cells, and it is consistent with the interpretation of the rules. But when you go to the main puzzle, both questions are answered, and still, yeah, the example doesn't work very well, I think, in that regard. But yeah, the puzzle is very well done in any case. The example puzzle also implies the constraint that the endpoints of each snake must be visited, and that sidetracked me from the actual rule set for a while, said one of the judges. And yeah, all the judges said something about the fact that the example didn't understand in some of the steps, okay? But yeah, actual rule plus skills were very forcing. Perhaps a tad too easy, but still a clean instructionless. Can't believe I'm advocating this, but this rule set would combine nicely with Uban. Lol. But yeah. And to answer the book firm, I'll answer exactly here, saying that this puzzle got a 21.2 in smoothness. So no, they didn't forget. But yeah. Puzzle number 28, I guess. Fishmeat Parade. Fishmeat Parade. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, this puzzle has a very interesting set of resets, because you solve this one, and then you are asked to find other ways to understand the rules of this, and apply those other ways to this one. It was cool. It was very cool. The main problem I have with this one is the fact that the diagonal has the same rules in both. Like, the fact that you have a diagonal here in both is, I think, something that I wouldn't have not done at all. Because I was searching for another reason for this, another meaning for this diagonal, but it hasn't. So, yeah, I don't care. What can I say? But apart from that, yeah, the idea behind it is very clever, honestly. Initial version, even knowing the rule, the second half was kind of grindy, said this one. I didn't like that there weren't great ways to confirm that the real guesses were correct. For me, the actual puzzle felt pretty standard, but with an annoying handicap of having to try to remember which color was which. The beginning was cool, though. That's pretty much the point here. And lower enjoyment here, 8.1, 20 smoothness, 21 in creativity for the idea, and lower enjoyment. This one is another one that I would have reduced the adherence, honestly. Also, the setter sent other versions of the two puzzles that you can find here that allow you to solve those independently without having the both grids connected. But yeah, let's go to 29. 29 was not made by Bowler Captain, and 30 was not made by Jubail. Sorry. 31 was not made by Elytron. And we can go straight to 32. And 32 was a Prime Wizard puzzle. And we probably should talk about this one. Prime Wizard's puzzle was this insanity here. And yeah. The hints that we received for this one were pretty cryptic. And judges had a very hard time with this puzzle. And with very hard time, I mean very hard. Hints were absolutely required. There were too many options for what a solve might look like otherwise, and the path between the coordinates could have gone either by row or by column otherwise. Once I knew I was looking for the constructed Sudoku, everything else flowed a little bit more smoothly. Unfortunately, the solver has to use a lot before getting to a point in which you can appreciate some non-verbally communicated ideas. And there is very little provided to support them. A non-square grid detracts from coordinates. Why can we only turn once when traveling between points, for example, and so on and so on and so on. Also, I will add that it's not always clear what numbers mean when you are inside the Sudoku or when you are outside the Sudoku, and how you have to interpret many of those things. I think this puzzle needed more hinting inside the puzzle itself, and more explanations of the of the symbols, what the squares mean, what the circles mean, and so on and so on and so on. That said, the puzzle just was a nightmare for the judges, as I said, a real nightmare for the judges. And it received a 9.75 in adherence and a 4.5 in enjoyment, 12 in smoothness, 11 in brilliance, and yeah, 4.9 as a puzzle score. Still sounds like an understatement, yeah. $33 was not made by Matt Geek. And reaching 34, I solved 34 just yesterday, or, well, this night. Oripi made this one. Oh, I have to... Oh, come on. I forgot to... yeah. Oh, yeah. Oribi took the place of Samupiano, if you remember. And I should change these. I forgot to do so. Wait, here. Let me just write it. I'll write Samupiano here, but I'll change these later. It's Oripi's file, Oripi's puzzle, but yeah, sorry. And I changed it in all the other files, but not in the open page. But yeah. Anyway, This is puzzle number 34. I solved this on chat with the help of Wisty and others. And yeah, the idea is very, very cool. And it's so simple and still hard to understand. But when you grasp the logic, well, yeah, the logic is insanely good. And the whole main puzzle is constantly using new logic. The puzzle is so fun. I think this puzzle needs more examples, honestly. Like 2 more examples are absolutely needed. And I think there are too many unsaid stuff in the examples that yeah, that I think you should work like to make some better examples, but the puzzle itself was very, very, very interesting and novel and very well done. This one is one of the situations in which I don't agree with the judges, but there is a thing that I completely agree with the judges, the fact that the clues should not be numbers, because being them numbers is way too big of a red herring. That's pretty much the point. One of the judges said that he spent about 40 minutes fruitless searching for a clue set that was tuple length, number of islands, number of connections, number of certain type of pieces, and so on and so on and so on, and even found one rule set that gave a unique solution for the examples, but didn't work in the main puzzle. Another problem that they had was the fact that the unshaded here is completely connected in the example, and it isn't in the puzzle. So you could infer that you need to connect the unshaded, but it's not like that in the puzzle. So, like, the example just doesn't work well for the instruction list. That's pretty much the point, at least. At least the judge's point about this. And this had created problems in terms of enjoyment and in terms of smoothness and in terms of brilliance. I don't know if I completely agree about that, but yeah, it's what happens sometimes. This has a lot of nitpicky thoughts, but I think it's well done. The octopus are pretty nice. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of not done puzzles. You have Visumation not doing 35, Sujoiko not doing 36, Decogito not doing 37, Dead Jokes not doing 38. Even with problems in the example, even it deserved way higher. Yeah, I have to agree about that. I have to agree about that. The main puzzle was absolutely better than 7.4 in my opinion, but yeah. And now 39. Feel like an overall ace score at least. Yeah. 39. I have to find out where 39 is. Wait. 39 odd even. Odd even didn't set 39. Okay, so let's return to 40. That was made by Alessio. And this one is oh yeah, this one. Yeah, this one has a big problem in understanding the rules, for example, in my opinion. With the rules fully understood, it's a fun math exercise, it works very well, nothing against anything. So, but yeah. When you don't know what are the rules, and I needed the hints for this, well, it's just insane. And also, some of the rules you didn't even put in the int document, so you don't have the whole rule set of these done. But yeah, it's very interesting when the rules are clear. Sadly, it's not the case at all. And again, this one is one of the things that New can do: the enjoyment, the smoothness, and the brilliance for this one. It's pretty much the same of Olympus 1, 7.4, and a similar, very similar situation. But yeah. So very slow, very low standard deviation as well. But yeah, 41. Let's have a look at 41. We are almost at the end of this. 41. Oh, issue. Mitral Prime. 41. This puzzle is absolutely great instead. Ichio made this one, and this is just great. This one with the RGBs. I'm completely against the fact that the direction of the letters is so hard to understand. I would have gone with a different symbol here, maybe the arrows, maybe something that works better. And if you solved this one, you know why. I would have never thought at it the way it goes. But apart from that, the puzzle is very, very, very interesting, very well done. And it's amazing. Yeah, it's just amazing when you understand what's going on, this one. And I shared already the results here because it's an 8.3 with a very high creativity and very high enjoyment, one of the highest so far. But yeah, there was a problem in this one. The fact that in the original main puzzle, B's and G's were flipped. So all B's had to be read as G's and all G's are read as B's. The link was fixed and judges didn't think it was enough to like literally reduce a lot of adherence because it was just an error of placing the digits. But yeah. What can I say? Very nice puzzle anyways. Now I need to save it at some point. Save what? Average enjoyment is quite low this entire round, it seems. Yeah, but also smoothness in general is not that high. Let's continue with 42 anyway. 42 is not made by someone, by James Sinclair. And 43 was not made by 3 Good 5 U. And 44 is finally time for Agents 1. So give me 1 second while I open this one. Okay, sorry. Here again. So yes, this is Agents 1, and this is like a MTC. I mean, I guess this was great fun to set. Yeah. I expected a FMTC knockoff, but got a nice use of instructionless, developing some unique theory, culminating in a neat, smooth, fun final puzzle. Yeah, said one of the judges. Another judge, great, just lovely, great puzzle, great use of answer checks on the examples to confirm, falsify understanding. Then in the final grid, I had to make my logic much more rigorous, so even though I'd solved 30 plus examples, the deductions still felt fresh. That's a thing that I had, like until half of these, there were stuff that I was not completely sure about in terms of like the maximality of some of the regions and so on and so on and so on. But when you are trying to tackle the final grid, you have to understand everything. Well, if you don't, you can't advance here. It's just a very good pack of puzzles, honestly. There is nothing that I can say that like it's completely very, very well done in all its parts, and yeah, the numbers gave me a seriously hard time trying to figure out what they wanted from me. personally, but yeah, the final grid is really well done. There is some interesting connectivity logic and so on and so on and so on. Very, very well done puzzle, and yeah, I guess you can expect that. For cookies, 8.9, another 8.9, and 20 in adherence. And well, yeah, very high smoothness, creativity. Well, yeah, as usual, 20 out of 25, but yeah, and high enjoyment as well. Congratulations. A bit stressful to make sure all the examples are unique. Yeah, exactly. Felt a lot like the witness. Yeah. And we have to go to the right again here. Because, well, we need to go to the right here. And we need to go to the right, sorry. We need to go to the right because it got 2 medals in one. A touch of my style and my favorite of the round. I still don't know why this doesn't color, but yeah, very well done. Anyway. And continuing with puzzle number 45. We are almost at the end of this, and 45 has the second lowest standard deviation of the round. Very creative, the instructionless aspect felt pretty disconnected and didn't add much to the puzzle. I enjoyed the break-in logic. What is puzzle number 45? Number 45 is this. You have to reach the other puzzle to recover, and from here you can understand something that is happening here. I had a problem with this one. That is a problem that reduced the adherence. The fact that you have evens and odds swapped in the example. So the example is like, can I say it's broken? Because it works with the hints about odds and evens swapped. And it's a problem. Also because yeah, like you have blue and red swapped in the example. That's the point, okay? And because black and red, blue and red are swapped in the example, is absolutely confusing, and at least confused me a lot. The puzzle itself made a lot of sense. The logic made a lot of sense. It's very clear what's happening. The combination of the different clues is very interesting, and also the fact that from the example you understand something that is not in the main puzzle, but you can deduce and deduct what's in the main puzzle starting from the example is very, 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 very well done. Yeah, the only thing that I didn't like is the fact that you had this little swapping, but yeah. Fry Guy made this one, anyway. And you have another 4 cookies puzzle with 7.6 and this lower adherence. And yeah, and lower enjoyment for similar reasons. But yeah. And then it's the same mistake as Teacher's Puzzle, but with the red and green letters in the example, but more challenging. Yeah. Yeah, the big difference, I think, is that yours at least made me think that I was understanding not correctly the rules. And if that's pretty much my biggest problem. That in that it was clear that it was an error puzzle side. Here it was like, okay, I'm not understanding what's going on because the sum doesn't work. But yeah. 46 was Adim, and 47 was more Mavi. That strangely this time didn't submit a puzzle. Let's return above and start with number 1. that was second blue puzzle. Oh yeah, the gravity one. Yeah, the gravity puzzle. That had the example broken. We have a fixed version of the example at that link. Yeah, not counting the example. This is the main puzzle. And what's very interesting about this one is that one of the judges said, I think I thought I would have hated this puzzle, and instead I found out I loved it. That's a thing that something could happen, right? To be honest, I didn't think I would like this puzzle at all, expecting it to be hard to track and notate. But once I had the rules, I actually had a great time solving the main puzzle, super smooth, and the 16 ball color bit was nice. Small hit in adherence for the Bronco example. I actually still really liked figuring out the rules for this puzzle, and this rule set is very fun and clever. Also a bit of nostalgia for the game balance. Yeah, very good construction. In general, they loved the construction of this. Deduction for the example being broken in that part. What happened here? Sorry. There is something wrong here. Okay, now it works. 8 with the usual deduction in adherence, and yeah, very high creativity. That's pretty much it. Number 2. Bit more magli, some say. Puzzle number 2 was made by the pedaling pianist. Yeah. Okay. Stu, I personally found your puzzle very confusing this time. Very confusing, I mean. There were one or two things that I think were pretty much impossible to deduce without the hints. Not in the Sudoku itself, but in in the instructionless hunting mystery part of it. Like the even oddity, for example, was very strange to find out. I had to use a lot of AI to understand what was all of this, but that's perfectly fine, honestly. And understanding the references, the numbers inside, and everything, that's fine. But like some of the connections, the fact that you need like odds and evens and how this is constructed is a bit hard to understand, I think. One of the judges said, between the picture identification and the obscurity of the largely uncluded vowel consonant things, this was way too much guess where I hid the answer, not there for me. The puzzle itself was nice and easy with the rules, but I think getting there without hints is near impossible. Identifying the images is somewhat hard, and associating them with numbers is harder. But then how was I supposed to know to associate the numbers with the word Sudoku? That's one of the things that another of the judges said. But this one, for example, had an adherence score that I don't agree completely. For the reasons I said, I would have given a lot lower adherence for this one, just because I don't think you can really advance through this puzzle without the proper hints. But yeah, and so you got an 18 in adherence that I personally don't understand and don't believe, but yeah, still very well done about the rest. The Sudoku itself was very nice. I mean, yeah. And then number 3. Maid's Gator didn't submit number 3. And last 2 puzzles. Puzzle number 4 and puzzle number 5. Oh, yeah. We have to talk about those 2. Yeah, puzzle number 4 has the longest comment I've ever seen on a puzzle from a judge. I'll share the puzzle below before continuing. Yeah. So I should probably share also the example for this. The example is non-unique, but it doesn't change the fact that you can understand what's going on. So it's like not a big deal. But the problem is this. You can understand stuff here. It's clearly a phenomenon. It's clear that you are taking all those crickets and you are avoiding all the snakes, for example. It's clear that the green beans are stopping the different phenomena to like connect the two cells. And it's clear that you have to reach the worm and that you are creating some sort of connection here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on and so on and so on. And the example does like a really good job in like letting us notice that you can intersect on ice and stuff like that, okay? The big problem of this puzzle, of this example, is that in the main puzzle, you have so much stuff that is different. And that is hard to notice, okay? For example, the holes. For example, the fact that you have this wall area here. And the fact that the rule set itself, apart from what I said, has some more intricacies, like I will tell the fact that the snakes make a disjoint set, and you don't know that. You absolutely don't know that. And you could not notice that from this example. Now, I get the point that you could, in theory, try to solve the example and see that you need those more rule sets, those more things to force. Because you can notice that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 different of those, but you have a phenomenon. So in that term, how much of it is disjoint in that terms? They are just different, they are in order, they aren't in order, and so on and so on and so on. What happens with the holes, and so on and so on and so on. This creates, or created in general, a solving experience that was a little bit hard to understand as an instructionless. I read one of the comments. The meaning of the green beans was hard to infer from the example, as treating them as given phenomenal boundaries that the frog couldn't cross made sense, and allowed the vast majority of the puzzle to be completed. There was also significant ambiguity in the lower right. If the snake can be 7, then there are a large number of ways to divide the space up between 6 and 7. In the main puzzle, the introduction of a new animal symbol could have meant anything. Having it exactly the same rule as another symbol isn't a great choice. Maybe another snake-like but a different symbol, or a second snake colored differently, or flipped the face could have been better. Once the rules were understood, I appreciate the mathematics that break in and everything because I mean the solve itself is fun, but yeah, that's what happened. And I personally agree with what that comment said. But yeah, this had an Outer Wilds reference. Yeah, this thing is just insane. I actually like this puzzle. But in any case, 5 cookies and 7.4 for this. 15.5 in adherence and lower brilliance and smoothness. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And lastly, yeah, what Playmaker said is in general what the judges said, pretty much in common. Yeah, a bit too much stuff to understand and a lot of intricacies in the scores, right? But yeah. And now to end this God of Hours made puzzle number 5. And I'm sorry to have this one as the last puzzle, because I have to say that this one, in my opinion, has some big problems in terms of instructionless. I'll just send the scores. It's a 7.7 with the 12 in adherence. And this 12 in adherence is, I think, the biggest point here that is similar to the 14 of Brotmeister. Point is that this puzzle revolves too much in the fact that the solver knows the standard use of some standard constraints. You have the example in which you have only the pink circles, and then down below you have circles of 4 different colors. And first of all, it's very hard to understand the example itself. And secondly, it's hard to infer from that what the other circles mean. When you know the meaning and you have the rules, the puzzle is a lot of fun. It's literally a lot of fun. But I don't really appreciate the fact that you must know the standard rules, because you can't really deduce them from the example. And I think that even understanding the pink circle is not that easy. I had to ask Good of Hours the rule set, the entire rule set, because I was having a lot of problems in understanding this. The problem here is the fact that you are asked to look at the cells around it without counting the cell itself, and you have to look at them specifically in order and orthogonally. So you can't look at them this way or this, and so on and so on and so on. That is not exactly the easiest thing to notice. Maybe there were a lot of better examples to let the solver understand what's going on. Again, with the solve and the rule set in mind, you know that this puzzle is very well done. It has a very neat break-in, for example. Very, very neat break-in. But after the break-in, the puzzle becomes very hard. Still very nice, but very hard. I think it was a 5-star puzzle, honestly, for example. But yeah. And as I said, this 12 in adherence really puts down the puzzle a lot, considering the other scores, honestly. But yeah. And that's it, I guess. For some reasons, I'm still not receiving the average here, but okay. As you can see, the average is literally 4 cookies. It's insane, but it's literally 4. 16.7 average adherence, 21.9 average creativity, 16.3 brilliance, 17 smoothness, very, very low, and 7.3 enjoyment. Congrats to Nextmaster for winning this turn, and Nextmaster J40, Mel Robinson, Agent, and the Bookworm for the medals. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. And yeah, I guess it's time to look at these. I should remember how this works, because I don't remember how should I do that. But point is that with all the things, there are some changes here. Let's click on sorting and look at it. Yeah, we have Kalump reaching the 2nd place here. Agent still in 1st place. And then Kalump, Fjöterbliep, Yitrio, J40, Melo Robinson, Nagwin, Vildiart, Nextmaster, The Bookworm, second blue, Alice Hugo, Fishmeat Farad, Fry Guy, Niverio, Ben Pianist, Just a Little Guy, and so on and so on and so on. Then continuing below with yeah, only 6 people that didn't submit a single puzzle so far. Yeah. Still highest average adherence, brilliance, enjoyment to Agent, highest creativity to second blue, and highest smoothness to Matty Drag. But yeah, 5 is the the score for the non-submitters this round. And as you can see, the lowest average for this round in general, 6.35, probably because we had a lot of non-submitters. But yeah. And yeah, I should return below to copy these, I guess. I guess that's how it should work, right? I put this here. I copy this. Let's see if it works. Order this way. Not really. Not really. Yeah, I still have problems understanding how to do that, but yeah. Yeah, there are problems. There are still problems in understanding this. Well, I will look at that later. I mean, never mind. But it's gonna go that way. Why am I doing that and these switches? Oh, I guess the problem is this. Sorry. I guess the problem is this one. We are having some problems here. Yeah. Yeah, now it works. Sorry. Now it should work when I do that. Yeah. Yeah, now it works. Sorry. That's it except the new prompt. Yes. And maybe ran 2 medals? No. Yeah. Higher resilience than last round. A rock hard round overall for sure. Yeah. I agree. I tend to agree. So I hope you had fun again. I'm sorry. Probably this prompt should have been a little bit better. I'm really sorry for that. But I still think it was pretty nice how it went. And thank you for everything to all the judges that, well, had a rough time for turn 3, but I guess it's how it is sometimes. But yeah. The update is that I tried to focus on solving the turn 3 medals, turn 3 puzzles, but you will have the medals of that because in the next days I will finish solving those. That's the most I can tell. That's the only thing that I could say. But I will share with you the prompt for turn 4. And as usual, please use the Discord channel to ask anything you want. That said, are you ready for the prompt 4? I guess so. I hope so. Prompt number 4. Yeah. Should be time for prompt number 4. And yeah. Probably I should tell you that Fry Guy won the guessing competition for prompt 4. The prompt is not make a puzzle, but welcome to the 4th round of the Skunkworks League. After a long and hard prompt, it's time for a simpler concept. You have until the 1st of August to submit your puzzle, sending me a DM. No submissions will be accepted after that deadline. You must set a unique puzzle. You are not allowed to put anything into the puzzle apart from arrows of some kind. You can't insert lines of other types, cages, numbers, givens, symbols, or anything else. Only arrows. You can put as many arrows as you want, and you must put at least 1 arrow. The arrows can be inside the grid, outside the grid, or everywhere else. The meaning of the arrows and the rules of the puzzle are up to you. You can use normal arrow clues for Sudokus, indexing arrows, summing arrows, compass arrows, counting arrows, and so on. You can also create your own new rules, of course. And yes, of course, you can have some arrows meaning something and some arrows meaning other stuff. I don't care. The only relevant thing is that you have arrows and only arrows. Yeah, playmaker, but remember a thing, you can't put like circles or squares or other stuff, only arrows. And yeah, your puzzle may be based on Sudoku or other number placement, but it does not have to be. Things that are not explicitly allowed are considered forbidden. You must submit a Sudoku puzzle or Pempa Plus link, not other things, with an embedded solution. And in the case of Pempa, as usual, please write and reduce the colors of the type of line required from the embedded solutions and so on. As you guessed, you received 2 cookies for this round. For higher adherence, aim for interesting use of the arrows. The goal is to let the solver think you were not forced to not put anything else in your grid. That's pretty much it. Very straightforward. Make a puzzle with arrows. That's pretty much it. And yeah, if you have any questions, I'm here. Or no, if you don't have questions, I mean. Oh, also, I just noticed that, sorry, maybe it's a thing that it's worth noticing, that many people have still 5 or 6 cookies left, but Bookworm has only 2 cookies left. Yeah. 4, 6, 5, 6, 6, 6, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. 2 cookies left? Yeah, you used 1, 1, and 2. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Then 6 on the rest. Wow. Anyway, that's pretty much it. It should be a straightforward prompt, I guess. Sounds easy on paper, but good luck to you all. Yeah, good luck to you all. How long to finish? What do you mean? You have 3 weeks from now. In 3 Saturdays from now, you will have to send your submission. Why are the turn 2 and turn 3 scores? They are higher because there is the continuity bonus. So the point is that if you submitted for turn 1 and then you're submitting again for turn 2, you get a 10% continuity bonus for the points that you receive in turn 2. And then again in turn 3, and then again, and then again, and then again. It's made to give a bonus to who continuously submits. Yeah. Are Sudoku regions allowed? Are arrows attached to circles allowed? I like the bonus. I mean, that bonus is like that in as always. Like, yeah. Yeah, the Sudoku regions. I mean, they are standard. They are standard stuff. It's okay. It's not a big problem about that. To answer to Piotr. And about the fact that you have a circle attached to the arrow in the standard arrows. I mean, some of the setters in season 1 changed the way something was represented to avoid problems with the judges. I mean, the point for me is always the same. If it's just a matter of like aesthetic, it's not a big deal. Like you are using the circle to indicate the start, and then you're in any way having the arrow. It's fine, because you could avoid the circle at all and still have the cell in which from which the arrow is pointing, right? But if you are using that circle to make other stuff like creating pills and meaning like you are adding stuff that is not the arrow itself, then things change. So the point is always try to stick with arrows. That's the point. But yeah. That's pretty much the point. And of course, yeah, you can do whatever you want in the terms. I will send you the prompt in the Lead notification channel, and see you next time, I would say. And bye you all, I guess. I don't know if... yeah, we should raid Sojo before ending this, I guess. But have fun. Bye all. And see you on Skojo stream.